you guys are down double digits there in the fourth. Just like, how did you try to impose your will on this game and get you guys back into it?
Mike, San Antonio,
I think
85.
even though we were down double digits throughout the fourth, I think it was important for us to like pay attention to like the rest of like other parts of the game. Like we were up for good stints and we had pushed out the lead to like I think it was like 14 at one point. So I knew if we were just continuing to play that way that got us there, we'd be all right. So for me, coming back in around that time was just play hard, play defense, fight, and just try to keep the pace going and do the things that gave us success early.
Rudy was saying that coach was even drawing up ATOs for you coming out of the timeouts. Like, what did it mean to have that?
In the fourth, especially me, and she come a long way. And you know, I'll take anything I can get. So for me, it was definitely it was a moment, you know, like a passing of the torch or something, like we transcended into like another level in our relationship. But I mean, at the end of the day, like it was just about winning as well. And I knew Ann was going to trust me, my teammates trust me. So for me, it was just like trust the work, knock it down.
Wait, you just kind of sense the moment at that point in the game when you're down 10, things were not really going to the way. Guys, just try to inject energy or whatever it is to your brain into the deal at that moment.
I think it's just staying locked in the whole time. These games are like late, you know, it's out of your rhythm, your flow, but it's just trying to stay locked in. Taking each game for what it was, and this one, where we were down 10, found ourselves in the position we didn't want to be in, and when my name was called on, it was just like, okay, let's try to make something shake. I feel like there's a game that we should win, and that just with our team, like, and the way we were playing at certain parts, we got to continue that out and see that through. And so, for me, coming in, that was my mentality, just to help that out.
You've arguably been the most consistent player on this team so far this year. With that consistency, the longer that sustains, do you think that you fight yourself less? Do you think that, you know, you're not as prone to that being a quote-unquote confidence player or non-confidence player?
I think it says a lot, and it definitely does mean something just because, for me, like the focus that I approached the game and then just trusting my work. Today was like one of the first days in a while, like I had no nerves going into that game. And I was like a little worried about it because I'm like, I don't want to like just come out all calm and act like, you know, like a days ago. But no, it's just, I can really feel the trust in my work and the trust that I have and my faith, you know, in God. And for me, I had to like stop worrying about the result because like each day is consistent for me, and it's probably the most focused and driven I've been in my life for a bigger purpose outside of myself and my family. So I think so.
So the fact that that's paying off in such a big way creates momentum for you in that respect, right?
Most definitely, but I try not to look at what it's doing for me, you know? For me, it's just, and like, I see it as a way of life, how I should live. So I don't see it as like the result. You know, I feel like the work that I put in, regardless of the result, I have an opportunity to be an NBA player, and I got to approach that with what that means. You know, being that 1% in the world, like, I got to work myself and continue to do that. Just seeing it as a way of life, because that's how I feed my family.
It just, you said, you know, you don't want to have butterflies, but it just feels like a fearless version of you. It's the best version of you. Do you feel like
100%, because, you know, the most scariest person is like someone that doesn't have anything to lose, right? You know, you always fear that person just because they're liable to do anything. And then in those moments, I think it's liberating, it's free. When you let go of those things that could hold you back, you kind of face them. And for me, just the mentality of just doing that day in, day out.
You feel like you reached a point where your offensive confidence doesn't have to come from your defensive play?
For sure. I think one and the same, and I remember and talk to my uncle a lot. And one of the things is I just kind of watch old games,
I think yourself,
new games, myself, just to remind myself also like I am a good offensive player, you know, and the course of my career took me this route, but that doesn't mean I'm not capable of doing things. I've scored 30 points multiple times in this league. You know, I've stepped up when I needed to. So I had to like kind of remind myself like who I am a little bit and just trust that. I know I've been getting better because I worked too hard not to. So just letting it come.
When'd you do that? When do you watch Sensei?
My free time sometimes. You know,
Recently?
now that it's like my son loves basketball, so
Okay.
like I'll put it on. I'll put anything on.
Okay,
he'll
so watch
it.
dance score 30.
Yeah,
That's the best thing.
for
Yeah.
sure.
Yeah, come on.
For sure.
You're
Get
not
it
gonna
in
watch
his
me
head.
stand in the
Nah,
corner.
I definitely gotta be his favorite player. Yeah, I definitely will put that on. Like, hey, I ain't just this defensive guy now. Don't get it twisted. But yeah, just lighthearted stuff.
So tonight when you made that steal and we're going down the court, you knew there was at least two guys right on your tail and you just went for the finish anyway. Would that have happened, do you think, before?
That's a good question. I think I definitely see myself at times conforming to a fear of what I did not want to have. So potentially, but I think the right play at that time was to go up and to finish.
And then they hit the free throws.
Yeah, for sure. I worked on free throws a lot. It's an everyday thing. So trusting that, knowing to knock them down and what it was going to mean for the game.